Good evening, Australia, and welcome to tonight's show of Let's Talk About Ice. We're crossing live from the Gold Coast. Yes, I'm at home at the moment, yeah. But never, sleeping or resting, as you know. For those of you that know me, busy. And as we get closer to Christmas, I think we get even busier because we're out there educating youth in high schools about the dangers of the drug ice before they go out and hit schoolies and holidays. And so, our heart is that, we've got to get in front of these kids before it's too late. If you are a parent in a high school, please warn and speak to your principal and talk to them about having us in there to protect your kids. Our heart is to protect these kids before they go out and run amok and get off at ice, and they will get off at ice. Please don't think that won't happen to your child, and it's out there in different forms. It just doesn't look like what you see in TV. There's all kinds of different forms of ice being introduced to the kids, lolly-like looking substances. They're putting it in liquid, cutting ecstasy pills with it, lacing marijuana with it. If they don't know any better, they might fall prey to this particular drug. And ice is like no other drug because it hijacks the frontal lobe of the brain, and very, very quickly it takes over the person, and very, very quickly the drug is in charge. So I really urge you to speak to your teachers, speak to your principals, get us in your schools, because we want to protect our kids. So we're just not on the Gold Coast. We have opened our Sydney branch. Hello, Sydney. We were there last week and we did some training and it was amazing. We've got some brilliant presenters there, and they are preparing for a forum early next year. Good day, team. I miss you guys. I really fell in love with you all. So I look forward to seeing you in January. Also, our WA team are going strong, and we're opening up some new CEATs across our nation, across Queensland at the moment, which is very, very exciting. So they will be in touch with you. Coffs Harbour has hit the ground running. They're been speaking to their community, and they are all trained and ready to go. And we're going to hit the ground running next year. So if you are in an area that there's no AARC representatives, please be in touch with us. We can always get a team out there to come and educate in the schools. But before I introduce our guest tonight, which I'm really, really excited to hear her story, because she's really come in to help AARC and to help what we do, and I'm so keen because I just fell in love with her, and I know you will as well. So before I do that and introduce you, Ellen, I just have a few housekeeping things. No, not housekeeping. And it's written really big here on my notes, housekeeping with exclamation. Just want to say a big shout out to the guys that are coming in for training next week. We will be doing some training next week for new presenters, and this will be the last intake for this year. The next one will be in the January or February next year at this point. And just wanted to have a bit of a chat to you guys. So I don't know, Brad, if you could do a bit of a close-up on me, because I want to talk to you about a serious issue right now. And just want to bring to your awareness about the decriminalisation of ICE, the inquiry that's been put forward in relation to having ICE smoking rooms across the nation and more pill testing, and legalising all drugs. To my... I guess having been on the other side and understanding a bit of that dark side in the world, of ice world that we call it, ice is like no other drugs, guys. It hijacks the brain, it hijacks the soul, it destroys communities. And saying that it's okay and legalising that, I really have a problem with it, because I know that as soon as it becomes legal, like alcohol, when alcohol became legal and more available, what happens is we have a massive problem with alcohol. Why? Well, it's illegal. let's pump up the price and legalise it and let the nation just burn and go to hell. And that's not okay with me, okay? So for those of you that stand with me, it's not okay to put poison in your body. It's not okay to legalise that and make it okay and make it, acceptable in community. And having rooms around so people can go and do that, you can't speak common sense and logic and rationalise with somebody using ice that's, hitting up. So having an ice making room and just even saying that you consider going in there and giving counsel to these people is just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, somebody that's taking ice and that is hijacked by that ice at that time is not somebody that you can counsel. Their frontal lobe's not operating. They're not making logic, rational decisions. That is not the time. And I just don't believe that that's the right thing to be doing for our nation and our children, and setting an example that is okay. Ask your kids. I have done the question. I've asked youth, if we had an ice smoking room up the road, what message am I giving you? And their statement has been that it's okay in measured proportions and under supervision. Well, it's not okay to take poison. Okay, ice is poison. Okay, on the streets today, it's got acetone, it's got Drano in it, it's got it's got glass in it. So many fillers that they're putting in there. It's absolutely destroying our nation and community. And I'm glad I just made an announcement. So I'm going to ask you to do something. Okay, because if you stand against something, or if you believe in something, stand for it. Okay, don't just talk about it on our Facebook page. Write a letter to your government. Okay, write a letter and get serious. It's the unity. If we don't say nothing, guys, who are we being? We're allowing this destruction to continue and this to be just passed over. We need to have a voice and we need to speak up. So I'm going to ask you today, from the bottom of my heart, I know where the people are going if this stuff is made, just allowed on our streets. And I'm just asking you to consider the damage that it's doing, and to making it legal, it's just going to make it worse. So I'm asking you now to write a letter to your federal government and stand against it, put your name. The other way that you can help is to join the army, join the AARC Army. Yeah, it's on our web page, www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au. There's a little tab there, excuse me, and it's join the army. Click on that and you can join the AARC Army. You can sign the petition to government with us, yeah. If you'd like to give a small monthly contribution, you can do so. But we're just preparing an ebook as well as part of that army, that you will receive information that you can, understand the dangers of ice. You can understand what's in it, what it actually does to the brain and to the family, and the long-term effects of ice on your body and on your life. Okay, so we're going to have that out hopefully by Christmas, and everybody that joins the army will get a copy of that to share with your families and to get equipped with the knowledge that you need to know to protect you and your family. Yeah, so I just ask you from the bottom of my heart today to please be your voice. Yeah, stand for something. Yeah, and don't let this ridiculous thing pass through our nation, and don't let it be okay. It's destroying lives. It's destroying people. So join us in the fight against ice, guys, and let's join in unity and be a mouthpiece, for the right thing. Okay. So I'm asking you to do that today. Take action. Yeah, take action. So just on that note, also AARC are looking for new officers. We have had the pleasure, I guess we've been very blessed by Mr. Morris and Sarah May Wines, from Sarah May Wines. He has allowed us to stay here. We've been, we're not funded, and over the last 8 months we haven't been able to pay our full rent, so he's allowed us to stay here and continue working out of this space. But they've now leased the office out, and we need to find somewhere else to work from. So I'm putting it out there, guys, that if you have officers that or some space that you think that we could work from, we're on the Gold Coast head office. We don't bring people in active addiction into the office. We work with them outside the office. It's the corporate office. We're talking HR, IT, and business development. So if if you think you have offices, we need about 130 square meters, and we have if you think you can help and sponsor us, which is totally tax deductible, for a period of time, please get in touch with us. Through Facebook, or pass it on to somebody that you know, pass on this link, or www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au. We would love to chat with you. We've got about 15 people working in head office, between 10 and 15 people every day, 4 days a week. And we just need somewhere to work in unity from. So we've got printers and computers and a kitchen and so forth. So putting it out there that if you can help, please get in touch with us. We do need a space to work out of for another hopefully 6 months or so, and then we'll be able to hopefully look at some bigger premises and paid premises. So if you can help, please get in touch with us. It's in unity that we achieve more, and you never know when you're going to need us, and when we're going to need to step in and help one of your loved ones. So we don't want to see this closed down, and want to keep this operation going, and working together from one space. So if you could help, get in touch. Well, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you all to Alan.
Hi.
Hello, Alan. Thank you for waiting so patiently
It's
while
okay.
I just got all of that out, because it's just been bursting out of me, and and you're sitting here and I could hear you go, because, anybody that's been in active ice addiction knows that this is absolutely ridiculous. It's just destroying the most destroying substance known to man, and it destroys not only the person but families and lives, and it's just not okay to say welcome into our nation.
No, not at all.
So thank you for agreeing with me, and thank you for agreeing to be on the show today.
That's okay. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else but here right now.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Alan, let's relax and sit back, and we're going to have a chat about a bit about your story, and I'm so keen to hear about it, because I see this amazing, beautiful woman standing before me with so much love, in your heart, and I know that you're part of Sisterhood.
Yes. Yep.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about what Sisterhood's about?
Sisterhood's probably what saved my life, along with the grace of God. But Sisterhood is a faith-based group of women that volunteer their time in a safe environment every week. They come together for a couple of hours or however long it takes, and it's just a safe place to come and identify some of the dysfunctions that we go through in life, and expose them, and deal with them, so that we're not resorting to things like ice and things like that, but dealing with suicide and all of that stuff that comes with drug use and everything like that. So we're just a bunch of ladies that come together every week. We're throughout Gold Coast and Brisbane, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It really has saved my life.
So they deal with things like addiction, with suicide, with domestic violence. What about relationship issues?
Everything. So there's no particular subject. It's whatever you're going through. So, just being a reference point for women and men, there's a men's group as well, but just being a reference point for some people that don't have anyone to talk to. Very important.
Absolutely. And where you can openly share from a place of love.
And there's no judgment there. It's a safe environment, and we just come there and talk, and sometimes that's all we need to save ourselves.
That's right. Have a shoulder, have a friend, have a sister.
Have a sister, have a brother.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you've heard my song "Lend a Hand, My Brother."
No.
But I have an EP.
I just seen that today.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
So one of the songs is called "Lend a Hand, My Brother." Thanks, Leanne. and that's the EP, guys.
Lend a
And
hand, my brother.
yeah, you can get it on iTunes or Google Play or all the mediums.
Highway Destruction.
But Spotify, yeah.
Nice.
Or you can buy the EP on our website, and all the proceeds from that, guys, go 100% directly to what we're doing, to here, to
Awesome.
AARC, to help us continue the work we do, yeah? So one of the songs on here is called Lend a Hand, My Brother. And that's what sisterhood and man up are about, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
so
right,
they
exactly.
lend a hand, be a shoulder, and
Yeah.
be a friend, yeah?
And it's free, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Why not? Why
Mhm.
not try something that if it's not working for you at the moment, try something else.
Yeah,
You know.
That's right.
Anything. Reach out somewhere. There's hope in your community. You just got to find it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful, and that's where we interact, with sisterhood and man up, because our buddy system,
Yes.
are about peer support,
Yeah.
and when somebody's been through that journey,
Yeah.
and that highway
Yeah.
to destruction, if we come out the other end,
Yeah.
if
is the key word.
it is absolutely. If we come out the other end, we just have a heart to help the next person come
Yeah.
out, because it's so devastating being in that hell.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And so we're teaming up, guys,
that's what
and
we're doing, yeah.
we're all joining, in unity,
Yes.
because we can help more people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So love you guys,
Yes.
sisterhood and
Man up.
up. Thank you, for joining us in the fight against ICE, because it is in unity that God
We
wants
can
His
do
kids
much
to
more.
come together, and we
Yeah.
can achieve more. We can help more people,
Yeah.
and it's not nothing to do with money.
No.
Obviously we ask for donations to keep doing what we're doing, because we still have to pay rent, electricity,
Yeah.
phones, and resources that we give out in schools and
right.
stuff like that. And that we reach out to the community and ask them. Every $10 helps us educate another kid, because we give them stuff to take home and all of that, and it helps us keep doing
Yeah.
what we're doing. But not about the money, but we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So and it's time that it's not fair. The government need to I guess
Put the
really
money.
pull their heads in
Yeah.
and put the money into, let's see, the
Something
front line
effective.
with people that are actually helping people
Yeah.
every day. Just this week, one of my girls that I personally help, she's coming out of rehab. The other one's just gone into rehab. Another person that I'm helping, is making that transition into rehab. Like this is going on, not just from me, but all of our presenters and all of our educators and all of our buddies every day across Australia. And the work we do is just incredible. Like I'm seeing, people helping people across the line every day. And that is the love of God, because who else is going to do that?
That's right.
Most people don't want to know. Oh no, they're on ice. Get away from me. Get away from my family. But
It's just
because
being no knowledge around it.
that's right,
Aye.
and that's what we want. We want to equip people out there. Yeah, we have some training online as well through Optimal Health Group. If you want some training to be able to do brief intervention and help somebody that may be in
Awesome.
addiction, Sammy Brief online does that.
Amazing.
There's a 2-hour training. Anybody can do it. Yeah, and you can have the knowledge. Parents, people out there that that have family members that are working in community, please get equipped, get on the
Amazing.
page, because you're going to come across somebody that needs help. And what do
Yeah.
you do? And how do you do that? Yeah, so
that's what
so
that's what
important.
I've really come across a lot of families that are unsure of how to deal with family members that are on ice.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yeah. On that note, I do want to make, I have a little bit of a plug to do, and I'm going to do that for Rosalind Saunders, because she has a show, and her show is on Fridays at 3 p.m. Let me just see. And it's Rosalind Saunders' Codependency Show, yeah? Rosalind is an amazing person who has been through hell and back with her kids who have been on ice, yeah? And she's trained up over the years and done so much study into this, and she helps a lot of our families, yeah? With some tools on, not enabling, and about codependency, and to really put those fences of love around themselves. As Leanne put it, you'll be proud of me saying that.
Fences of love.
I'm like, boundaries. She goes, no, fences of love. I'm like, okay, fences of love around themselves. And Rosalind really is an amazing, strong teacher of that. And she's got a show now every Friday at 3 p.m, guys. I'll be putting up the link to that very shortly. But it's about tips and ideas on how to help and cope with your situation, having a family member in addiction. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that is, some ideas on what to do, what not to do, how to help, and it's for families. Yeah. So if you're a family that you've got a loved one in addiction, you want to tap into this show. You really want to get get as much as you can out of Rosalind's show, because she's been through hell and back, and she has done so much training in this area, and she gives so much to our families. She's amazing.
So cool. I'll be using that for sisterhood. So many people come in asking that question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do,
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that now. As you can see, I'm on my tapping away. I'm going to put it on the page now, so you can have access to that. And tomorrow. So that's Friday, 3 p.m. Queensland time. And you'll be able to access. There we go. Awesome. So about you now. I want to hear a little bit about you. And, it's by sharing, I believe, that, people get an understanding and an insight into the journey and why people, pick up ice and what happens, what really happens. We're here to talk about ice because we hope that you can share this link on your Facebook.
Yes.
And then it can be shared again so that we can get the message out there. People can get a real understanding about ice and what it is and what it does, and the journey that you take on it. So tell me a little bit about your story. How did things start for you? Were you always using drugs?
So pretty normal life. 4 children at the time.
Yeah.
And
what's a normal life? Tell me.
I
don't
don't
really
know.
know that anymore.
I don't know, living with kids and a partner, and just they were going to school and playing sport. What I thought was normal at the time, but and then we had our own gym, and things were okay.
You had a gym.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
we went to our gym. Yeah.
Wow.
So me and my brothers and sisters owned our own gym, and
wow.
so we were pretty active, and but a lot of domestic violence in my home.
Yep.
And that's where I think it all started for me. And then, one day, the neighbours called the police. They could hear me screaming, and then they came over, and I was just like, nothing's happening here. And I always said that, even if I had a black eye, I would say that.
Yeah.
And then my 10-year-old daughter at the time, she just told the police what had been happening, and she just, I just didn't. My kids were so good at everything that they did.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was affecting them.
Yeah.
Because you're just blind, And she just told the police, and then they arrested my children's dad at the time, and they took him away, and then he left. 14-year relationship, and
wow.
He just left, and I actually just did not prepare myself. I hadn't prepared myself for that, I hadn't seen life without my kids and us as a family.
So. Was there drugs involved there at that time? So tell me something. So the relationship obviously escalated and a bit out of control. And why didn't you say something?
I don't know.
You were scared?
Yeah. I was scared about that.
Yeah, about him leaving.
Yeah. Because I was at home mum, and he provided everything that we needed, and we needed him. Yeah. That's what I thought at the time.
Yeah.
And my kids even used to say to me, like, Mum, leave, we worry about you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's okay. Everything will be okay, because I need you to have what you need for school.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was the right thing to do, to be honest.
Yeah. And we do the best that we
think is...
Yeah, that we think is best, and I totally relate to that, because I've been through that as well. So, you want to go, and then you're too scared to go, and you think you can't do it on your own.
Yeah.
And then... So what happened?
Yeah, he left, and then he left with me with the kids, and, after some time, the lights went out, and then I got kicked out, and so I had to give them to him. The children had to go and live with him. And,
Wow.
and I just went into a really deep state of depression. I couldn't even get up and shower.
Oh, darling.
And I was still kind of at the gym at the time, and one of the girls that was there, you know, she was like, you know, like, we kind of need you at the gym, like, you need to come train. And she was like, you need to get up. And I was like, I can't even get up and shower. I can't even get up and do the children. Like, I can't even, you know, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then someone else came over, they said, this will get you up. And they handed me a pipe. I hadn't seen, never even know what ice was.
Wow.
I hadn't even seen a pipe before. I was 35 at the time.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
then I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
I could get up.
Yep.
I could function.
Yeah.
And I wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like I could do all of this and no one knew that
Yeah.
anything, you know, I wasn't under the influence of drinking or
Yeah.
anything like that, because I was a pretty full-blown alcoholic at the time. You know, I could drink myself to sleep every night and cry
you were
away.
hurting.
Yeah.
You know, so you were trying to master.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
So every night I just drank.
Yeah.
And then I started taking ice, and then I got up and I could clean the house, and I thought this thing had saved my life.
Yeah.
I really, really did.
Yeah.
I thought this was the most amazing thing. I was like, if my family even knew this,
Yeah.
they wouldn't drink so much alcohol,
That's
because
right.
we could get up and do everything
So it saved your life for a minute.
for a very short minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then I remember a cousin of mine saying to me, I told her about it,
Yeah.
and she was like, because I knew I had heard she had been once on ice.
Okay.
Oh, it was back in New Zealand, so it was Pevia.
Did you know that it was ice when it was offered to you? Did they say it was ice?
No,
Okay.
I didn't even know that it was ice.
Yeah, same me. Yeah.
I
same
didn't even
me.
know what
Yeah.
ice was,
Yeah,
actually.
that's right. You know, and that's what happens, you know, when we go out in the community, people go, oh yeah, I know about this ice, yeah. And I go, great, what do you know? And do you know what it looks like? And well, no, not except I've seen it on TV. But wait a minute, do you know that it also comes in yellow and pink and blue?
Blue and yes.
And you know, it does. It's not always like what you see on TV. Sometimes it's crushed. Sometimes it's a liquid. Yeah. In a lolly injected, cut. You know, all these things. But you're absolutely right. I didn't know either.
No, I didn't know.
So you just took it because you trusted the person
Yeah.
and you just wanted to feel better.
Feel better.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
made me feel
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
It really did. And then a few months went down, and then I remember one day getting into an argument with a guy that I had met.
Yeah.
And then I remember thinking, oh, I need some ice. Like, I actually thought
Mhm.
that day that I was like, I need a smoke.
Yep.
And then, so I actually tried to source it out, because
Yep.
the person that showed me it, she was like, don't buy a pipe,
Yep.
you know, because then you'll use it
Yep.
often.
Yep.
If you need to use the pipe, come to me, you know.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and then I got, say, 3 months down the track, I was spending probably $40 a week after what I had left out of my pay. So I'd buy half a point.
Yep.
And she would buy the other half and would smoke that, and
Yep.
that was me. That was good till
Yep.
the next payday.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to my cousin about it, and she was like, "Oh, cuz, just be very careful, because it's very addicting." And I said, "Oh, I'll never be addicted to this.
It won't happen to me.
It will
that-
not happen to me.
Yes.
I'll know if it's
Yes.
taking over my life." This is what I told her, and
Yeah.
and by this time I was already addicted.
Yeah. You can't see it.
You can't,
You can't
see
see
it.
it. It really does. It comes in very sneakily.
Very sneaky, and then it just robs you
Yeah.
of everything.
That's right. That's right.
And then I don't know if we want to cut quickly to the chase, you know.
Just tell it as it is.
Yeah. And then I was just using more frequently.
Yeah.
And then it became, I started selling it
Yeah.
to, you know, and then I got introduced to G, you know,
Yeah.
I listened to your story, and
Yeah.
and that was a really quick money maker for me.
Yeah.
And then I started selling it,
Yeah.
trafficking it.
Yeah.
And then before long, a pipe wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And then I was using it intravenously.
Yeah.
And that's when I thought that I was in more control of it than ever, because I really thought I was.
Yeah, I know you did. I did too. I got it. Like no one.
No,
you know,
and I was
it's
like,
not a
I'm
problem.
using less, and it's cleaner this way. Oh,
Yeah.
the stories you tell yourself, but
Mhm.
You know, I got to a very psychosis stage where I didn't actually know that it was psychosis at the time,
Yeah.
but I was crazy.
Yeah.
I had gone crazy.
Tell me what that looked like, because I understand what you're saying. The people at home may not. So what does it look like? What is it going through?
Crying on the street, screaming, you know, smashing up the car while I'm driving with my children in the car, and you know, I was doing fraud, I was doing every type of crime that you could possibly think of.
What was going in your head, Ellen? Like, what were you thinking? Like,
just to
you
not
weren't-
lose my...
You weren't thinking.
thinking.
It's ISIS
You're not
hijacked
even-
the frontal lobe.
Yeah, I didn't even know what ice did to me,
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was the ice that was doing this.
that's right.
You know, I was just not myself. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
I wasn't me anymore.
Yeah. It took over your life. It takes over.
Yeah.
It takes everything from you.
And then I literally lost my kids. Like,
Yeah.
lost them. I was
Oh,
suicidal. Lost them to the state. I lost them once. You know, I actually got pregnant 4 years after using ice. I got pregnant, stopped taking drugs the whole pregnancy.
Wow.
My partner went to jail, and
Yeah.
and it was a good time. It was a good reason,
Yeah,
enough
yeah,
reason
yeah,
for me
yeah.
to live again.
Yep.
Because I had lost my family. No one knew how to deal with me.
Yeah.
No one really asked me, to be totally honest,
Mhm.
like what was wrong.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So they didn't look at the signs
No.
that that were coming
No.
up. I'm gonna stop there because I want to come back to that point. But I just want you to acknowledge here, guys. You stopped using for a period. How
Yeah.
long was that period?
A year.
A year. Okay. But you went back to it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to talk about the difference of just abstinence, just not using, just not being clean time. That doesn't mean you're in recovery. Okay, I had this conversation today.
Okay.
Yeah, because some people go, oh, but I can stay clean, and I've done it before, and I can stay clean and not use, and I'll just take myself out of the environment. It doesn't mean you're in recovery. Okay, recovery looks like something else. Okay, you actually have to work through the stuff behind
Yeah.
the addiction, the underlying stuff,
Yeah.
all the stuff that you've also accumulated through addiction.
Yeah.
That you have to work through and break down, and actually, it just doesn't happen just by not
No.
using. Okay, you'll find another
A
thing
reason, yeah.
to mask it,
Yeah.
or you'll fall back into it.
Yeah.
So
Well, something will happen along life. You'll you'll stumble along life, and your only thing that you know how to do would be to resort to it again.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's not recovery.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear. Not using is not recovery.
Yeah.
It's actually working through all the stuff that's underlying.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you get that.
Yeah.
An AOD counsellor.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do it internally in rehab, an AOD counsellor is critical, so that you can unpack that.
Yes.
Yeah, and work through it,
Yeah.
because that is real recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, so I only stopped using because I was pregnant.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
There
so
you go.
that was the only reason. I hadn't dealt with any issues. I haven't even thought to seek any of that stuff out. I was like, I'm having a baby, life is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and once I had the baby, had my son, my beautiful son, we just started using again.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until he was removed from my care.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that he was.
Yeah.
Because I would never have seeked out what was really underlying, what was causing me to reach for this every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a blessing in disguise. As painful as it was a blessing in disguise. And I never wish that upon anyone, to get to the state, that stage in life where you've actually lost everything that you have ever had in your life. Even your dearest, your children.
Yeah.
That was the lowest of the lowest point.
Yeah.
That's when I knew I had to find out. I had to find myself.
Yeah.
I didn't even know myself before I started having children, let alone when I was at the lowest point of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason why they took my son was I was about to drive in the lake with us. I forgot he was in the car with me.
Wow.
I was that. I was that gone.
Yeah.
I just wanted to take the pain away.
Yeah.
And I've been kicked out of home and all of the horrible things that come with ice. It's really, really horrific.
Yeah.
You just feel unloved. Everywhere you go, you seek love. No one wants to know you when you're on ice.
Yeah.
No one even wants to know about it.
Yeah. I want to ask you something on that note. So, you know, you wanted to end your life, and I remember being there myself. You know, and just the rise in suicide, mental health, homelessness, domestic violence.
Yeah.
Let's look at the underlying, I guess, it's the same thing again and again that's underlying. And you look, it's ICE.
Yeah.
ICE has just, you know, ramped everything up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
so you know, suicide,
Yes.
it takes you there. It
Yeah.
really takes you there.
Very
it takes
quickly.
you homeless. It
Yeah.
takes domestic
Yeah, it
violence,
was
crime,
homeless,
all of
yeah,
that.
all of that.
So we mentioned before, and nobody knew how to help you. Like they didn't know what to say to you, or nobody mentioned to you, you know, that things aren't okay. Maybe you might need help.
Yeah.
Hey, you know. So tell us a little bit about looking at it now, from where you are now. What are some of the signs that people need to look for?
You know, I was taught very early how to act.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, it was horrible, you know. She taught me how, you know, no eating, no sleeping. That's, first sign is no sleeping.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
That's right.
no sleeping,
Mhm.
you know, and then no eating. You know, you lose your appetite for days.
Yeah.
I'm talking days.
Yeah.
And just you should know, if you know your loved ones, you should know a change. You know, you should know a change. Any change is something's wrong. They're not okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
any change, and they're not acting the way that they usually act. Ask the question: are you okay? What's going on? Or,
Yeah.
you know, because no one asked me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, or if something's happened in their life, if they've lost a loved one, if they're mourning death, or,
Yeah.
you know, or, you know, just make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
Because if they're not talking about it, they're not okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I can guarantee you
Exactly.
that they're not okay. If they're not speaking this out with you or with a professional,
Yeah.
or just with a friend,
Yeah.
then it's going somewhere.
Yeah.
It's being disguised
Yeah.
somewhere, and
Yeah.
something that is going to erupt at some stage. Some way, somehow, that's got to come out.
Yeah, yeah, and
With
that's
it.
great, because you know, that's why we're doing Sammy Brief.
Yeah.
We're like, people, be aware, look out for the signs.
Yeah.
You know, substance abuse and mental health intervention. That's
Yeah.
what that is, Sammy.
Yeah.
Substance abuse, mental
Wow.
health intervention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get the knowledge. Be
Yeah.
able to recognise that, you know, something's not right there.
Yeah, if they
What's
spend a
the
lot of time on their
conversation?
phone, or they're very distant, or if you find that they're not in the moment, like
Engaging.
engaging,
Yeah.
because your head
Yeah.
is miles away,
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
right. And you need to know these things, and the next thing is, maybe some people did see that something was
Yeah.
wrong, but they didn't know how
How?
to have that
That's
conversation
right.
with you, because that's
They
our
probably
thing.
didn't.
How do you have that conversation?
Because it's like, oh, that would be a little disrespectful
Yeah.
in our family.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
ask me what's and they might even say to you, I would, no, I'm fine.
Yeah,
You know,
that's right.
because what do you say to that?
Yeah.
To be honest,
Well, that's when you learn to do an intervention.
that's right.
And
That's
give them the
right.
cost,
That's
the
right.
benefits, and you know, no, I don't think
Think
you
you
are
are.
okay, because you're not sleeping, you're losing your kids,
Yeah.
you're homeless,
Yeah.
you lost your
Yes.
job.
Well, when you're at that
that's
stage,
not okay.
somebody should have already stepped in.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
and they hadn't.
Yeah.
So this is the point I'm making out there, you know, for us to be equipped and be
Yeah.
aware, because in 1 second that person can be in trouble and
Yeah.
then be suicidal, and you've
Yeah.
lost them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's to be
And in a
aware.
second, yeah.
Yeah, and be,
And just discern, I suppose, like just know, like have a gut feeling, because we become very smart when we're on the drug.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We become very smart
At masking it.
at masking
Yeah.
it, and you know, if you ask the question enough, are you okay? You'll get sick of asking the question.
Yeah.
Instead, do something else. Work around it.
Yeah.
Do intervention. You know,
Yeah.
because they're screaming out for help.
That's right.
And they really are.
Yeah, and when you do an intervention, you need to be prepared. So this is why get in touch with us if you're a family member that has a loved one that's in addiction. You know, now's the time to reach out and get the tools you need to be prepared when you do that intervention, because it's no good going, okay, you need help. Okay, what's that help look like?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know yet. Be ready. Be
Yeah.
ready, you know,
You
call
need to
us,
be,
you know,
yeah.
get some information, have a plan in place to help your loved one when they're ready for support.
Yeah.
You know, and with ICE, there's something called a cycle of addiction. Okay, so you're on ICE, you might be using, and then you get to a place called contemplation stage where things get hard. You can't do this anymore, you want out, you need help, you don't know how to do it. And so that's the time that the family need to be ready. And prepared with the tools, and they can step in and go, yep, I see, you can't do this anymore, let's do something else.
Because at this time, that's when we're searching. Hey, we're wanting someone to take control of us because we can't take control of ourselves.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, because the drug has taken control of the
us.
brain.
Yeah.
So that's why our buddies are so important.
Yeah.
And the work we do is so important because we've been there, we remember that,
Oh.
and we can go, all right, I'm going to be your brain while
That's
you can't
right.
think.
While you can't think.
You're in trouble, and let's go. Let's walk this way. Yeah, that's right.
Because sometimes all it takes is for you to just grab their hand and walk away.
So true, isn't it?
Because
So
you
true.
know, you would have remembered many times. You know, people would walk up to me on the street and be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because I'm sitting there like distraught, like, you know, and just thought, you know, I'm just way past thinking for myself.
Yeah.
They're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm fine," but I'm just like, "Take me, please, someone help me."
Yeah,
You know, but
and it's about sitting there, you know, with
and
that person
engaging
and
with
going,
them.
"Hey, I've been where you're sitting."
I've been where you
know.
are.
Yeah,
And unless, you know, I really do believe, unless you've sat in our shoes and you've walked this walk, you really, you can't even relate.
No.
You really have to get some tools to help your families
That's
and
right.
to help your loved ones, because there is no way that you could relate to a person on ice unless you walked in the shoes of one.
That's right,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's why we so value, you know, the partnership with you guys and having you on board to come and be educators, but also buddies and intervention people, because we know that that's the only thing
That's the only
that
thing
can
can
really
help.
get through
Yeah.
to the family members.
Yeah, that's right. And then I was, you know, and then I was heavily introduced to, you know, I went to a Man Up rally. That's where
Wow.
it changed my life.
What's a Man Up rally? Tell me about.
So I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah,
I went there to
Who
eat.
took you there?
My sister-in-law took me there, and all she said was, they've got a free hangi, which is a traditional food that we and
Yum.
I don't think I had eaten for 3 days.
Wow.
You know, so I was just like, I'm there for the food.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then I got there, and there were people a lot like myself, you know, that had been through struggles in life, and they were sharing their testimonies, and I was like, wow, there's actually someone else that's going through this as well, you know, and there's an answer. There was, you know, they just said, we've got the answer.
Yeah, wow.
It was the first time I heard anyone say that whatever you are going through in life, we have the answer.
Yeah.
You know, and that was my pastor at the time. My pastor, you know, and he was like, I've got the answer.
Yeah.
So I was like, who are you? What is the answer?
Yeah.
You know? And then I went to church the next day, and that was the answer for me.
Wow. Wow, that's beautiful.
It was crazy.
And it's about loving people back to life, you know, and, you know, non-judgmentally and meeting people where they're at because you've been there. And it's about, you know, knowing that they've got no food, or they're homeless, or they need, you know, a shoulder to cry on, or they need, you know, some counsellors, or they need whatever they need, you know.
At that
and
moment in time,
being there, because you've been there. And just being able to walk with them, and that's what Lend a Hand My Brother's about, you know. Lend a hand, my brother, bring a shepherd to my side, you know. I'm lost and not forgiven, no matter how I try. You know? And it's like, but, you know, stand me to my feet, bring me to my feet. So we'll walk tall together as equals when we meet, you know. And that's what it's about, because we're all the same, you know. And ICE doesn't discriminate, and it can come into your family. I don't care who you are. You know, I personally had, you know, you ran a gym, I ran businesses, you know, had kids, I was successful, you know, and ICE came into my life, you know, and tried to kill me, and ICE came into your life and tried to destroy your life, and you know, out there, you know, it's not just low socioeconomic, not just the homeless people that have taken it.
No.
It's not just people in, bikies or,
No,
it's lawyers, it's
yeah.
nurses, it's mums,
I
it's
could not
dads.
believe how vast the range of people that took ice.
Yeah.
It was like your next door neighbour,
Yeah.
literally, and the people that came through the doors that used to buy it, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, all ethnics.
Yeah, you wouldn't
You wouldn't even think.
think it,
Big
Yeah.
people, old people,
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
people, it was a really big eye-opener
It's
to me
incredible.
because it's like a different world.
Yes, it is a different world,
It's-
and we call it ice world.
Yeah,
here, but-
it is ice
yeah,
world.
Yeah.
There's this world, whatever this world is
Yeah,
either,
yeah.
and then there's ice
That's
world.
right.
And you walk around the streets and you only see ice people.
Tell me a little bit about. Let's paint a picture for people out there. What does ice world look like?
Ice world's a world of deceit.
Yeah.
It's a world of lies,
Yeah.
deceit, stealing.
Yeah.
It rob you of everything, your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just your bank account, not just your family, not just your children, not just your breath.
Yeah.
It robs you of your soul. It is a place that it's like hell on earth.
Yeah. Exactly.
What you would imagine hell to be like, it's like that in the living form.
Yeah. And exactly, that's how I put it too. It's a prison, and it's an
it's
entrapment,
prison.
and it's a torment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all of that. It's everything
Every
that we're
person
saying.
around you
Yeah.
is the same.
Yeah, and it's dark and it's scary,
dark and it's-
But people don't realise that when they first say yes to this drug. They don't realise. They go, I just want to feel good for a second, and it's such short-lived, and it really sucks
It
you
is
into
very
the pits of
short-lived,
hell.
yeah,
It
it's-
really does. So, you were at the rock bottom, and you were invited to this Man Up rally,
Yeah.
and they spoke, and then you went into a church. And what happened after that? How did you move forward? Did you go into rehab? How did you?
No, I'm going to tell you the honest truth.
Yes, please.
I was sitting in church,
Yeah.
and my pastor was talking at the time. I was sitting in Destiny Church. My pastor was talking at the time, and he was literally talking. I was up the back, and he was like, "So this person, whoever's up the back, and you've got tears running down your face," and he was talking straight to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, my feet just started walking down. It was crazy. It was
That's so good.
it was the moment of my life, this. And I started walking down, and I remember crying, and I remember I didn't even know what a pastor was.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what I was doing up there.
Yeah.
And then I remember the words that he said, the very first words that he said. He put his hands on me, and he said, "You have been chosen." And that's all I remember. And then
Yeah.
he prayed, and then I remember turning around, and I looked at our church, and he was like, "This is your family." And I owned that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, I don't have anyone right now.
Yeah.
Right at this moment. I've got a beautiful family, don't get me wrong. This drug can come and rob you even when you've got a family as tight-knit as mine. They love me to pieces. I love them. It can take you from any situation, Ice. And so I turned around, I had nothing left. I had, I even had turned up at church. I walked into Target and stole that outfit that I had because I didn't have any clothes
Yeah.
to wear to church. So I walked in, I put some clothes on, and I walked into church. And I had nothing. I turned around and I was like, you know what? I've got nothing left. So this is my family. I'm gonna own what he just said. I've been chosen. This is my family. And from that day, I never craved the drug. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
Yeah.
I know why,
Yeah.
I know why.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
God just took all of that from me.
Yeah.
And I didn't, all the scary things that I had been told about coming down off drugs, I'd been told you're going to have nightmares, you're going to get ill,
Yeah.
you were going to be sick for days, you will be bedridden and all of that. It was taken from me, and I'm so grateful that it was, and I knew that. I knew something was different. I knew that this wasn't how you usually come down.
Yeah.
So I believed what my pastor had told me, and I seeked myself out. I seeked out the you know, the vessel that God had created me to be.
Yeah.
I've gone right to the core of myself, and through sisterhood, you know. So they've stripped me right back.
That's great.
You know,
Yeah.
and
So you've worked through the stuff.
I have worked
you know?
very hard to get to know the real me.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm still clean.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, that's why I'm clean, because you have to go back, and you have to go back to your childhood and things that have happened through your bloodline that you may have not have understood, that have been handed to you.
Yes.
You know, by default, you'll gain these through life.
That's right.
And you really have to seek these out, otherwise you'll always stumble across things in your life that are going to be too much for you to handle.
Yeah, that's beautifully put. And you have your son back with you now?
Yes, I get him 2 nights a week.
Yeah.
And you know, I've got a good relationship. You know, I don't have a home, and I don't have a car, and I don't have my children fully back in my care yet, but my heart is full.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
and it's getting there.
I'm getting these things. You know, I have God in my life, and that's the main thing for me right now.
Yeah.
That's what I have to focus on, is myself, because I can't be the parent that I should have been a long time ago, that I would never have been if I didn't come to this point in my life.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I know, I mean, you're at 12 months in recovery now.
A different 12 months though.
Yeah,
you know?
yep. And it's a real recovery.
It's
and
real
true
recovery.
restoration.
That's right.
And, you know, the promises are restoration upon restoration. And you're going to get your family back.
Yes.
And you're going to get your car. And you
Yes,
guys are going to
yes,
get
I'm going to get my house.
Because, you know, it's by repairing what's inside of us first. You know, when you're on a plane, if the plane's falling, you've got to put your mask on first before you can help anyone else. Yeah. And you're at a point now where, you know, you feel ready to step out and help others. And
because I must.
Yeah.
You know, I must give back, because I could very well not be here for my children right now. And now I'm in the best place that I could have ever been in my life, you know. And I'm still striving for better. And you know, that's why I'm here today.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
You know, because we must give back. Yeah. You know, we can't receive this and not pass it on to somebody else, you know, because it would just be void.
Yeah,
you know?
That's beautiful. And that is what we're about at ARC. It's about, you know, giving back what's been freely given to us, which is recovery. You know, that over the last 6 years there was a 480% increase in methamphetamine found in our wastewaters. Our wastewaters is our toilet water, right? So 480% increase in methamphetamine found in our wastewater over 6 years. Earlier this year, from January to April, there was another 17% rise. That means that we're using more ice than ever, and we are the highest ice users per capita in the world, Australia. Wow. In the world. So the problem's not going away. And this is what it's doing, it's destroying lives. A very small percentage of people that get addicted to ice actually come out the other side. It's very difficult. But we've done it.
Yes,
and we want to show you how to do it. So if we're
100%.
speaking to you right now, if you are entrapped in addiction, you're contemplating change, you need some help, and you want to reach out, do it. Just do it. If we're speaking to you today, think about the life that you could have. You know, the end result of Ice World really is you're going to be imprisoned, you're going to be in mental health institutes, or you're going to end up dead. Choose life. Choose life, and life abundantly. And we're here to help you make that step out of Ice World. We're here to help. Absolutely.
There's hope.
And we're helping people every day, you know, people like Alan and myself. And we're so grateful for Alan coming on board and being part of the team. And you're doing some training next week with us and the week after. So she's going to be an amazing buddy and an amazing educator as well in our schools. And we're so excited.
Thank you so much for
honoured
the opportunity.
to having you on board.
I am.
I know that you're going to change lives radically.
I know that I've gone all of my struggles through life for this moment right now, you know, and I'm just happy to. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help. If you need us, we're here. Absolutely.
Guys, the number to call if you need help, either family support or you need a buddy, that number to call is 1-800-NO-TO-ICE. NOTOICE.
668-642.
Awesome. 1-800-66
No.
Ah.
8642.
Sorry.
It's on the screen.
It's on the screen. I should get Leanne. She looks after the care team, so
I just love the
well,
attention.
her and the care team. She loves the attention. Yeah. So come on and tell them the number to call is
1-800
yeah.
66 86 42.
I hope you heard that. Yeah, it's for families and also for people
Awesome.
that are in addiction that want to reach out for help. We're here to help you guys, okay? If you have any questions, please pop them up. If you want to say anything to Ellen, she will be
Yes,
online
yes.
and she'll be answering any
100%.
questions and we'll be there to chat as well to you. Yeah, stay safe. Yes,
Yes.
stay clean.
Yes.
God bless you.
God
I
bless
just
you.
want to teach you our not even once. I don't even know what you call it. Is it like a slogan or thing? Right, but it goes like this, right? Not
Not
even, once.
once. Oh, nice.
All right, let's go. Ready?
Not even once.
Take care. God bless. Stay
God
safe. Stay
bless.
clean. Bye. See you next week.
I love that.
Awesome.
Not. Oh.
I'm sure we only